Come and listen to my story about a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground come a bubbling crude oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. The kinfolk said, Jed, move away from there. Said, California is the place you ought to be. So they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is, swimming pools, movie stars.
The Beverly Hillbillies.
Shooting out here. Don't tell me you found game in these hills.
We just doing a little target plinking, Granny.
We tried smearing molasses on that rock over yonder and picking flies off it.
Yeah, not many of them showed up. Must be too cold.
Okay, Pa. Y'all can commence the shooting now.
Where's your target?
See that tree at the bottom of the holler?
You call that shooting?
No, ma'am. But see that board leaning up against it?
Ellie can hit that with her slingshot.
We ain't shooting at the board, Granny. We was fixing to drive them nails sticking in it.
Still say that ain't hill country shooting.
Granny's right, boy. See that rock over on the left?
Yes, sir.
Let's ricochet off that and then drive the nail. Good. How far do you make that to be?
Oh, about 100 yards.
Too close for this gun. All right, boy. Every other one.
Want me to run down and turn around, Pa, so you can drive the nails through the other way?
Well, it just ain't no sport at this distance.
That's the truth.
Why don't we all go out in the country where we can do some real shooting?
Now,
Ravenswood, what is going on?
Oh, it's the Clampetts, madam.
Well, go over there and command them to cease at once.
Begging your pardon, madam, having survived the Battle of Britain, I don't wish to press my luck.
Then summon the police.
Oh, Mr. Drydale has forbidden any such action.
Well, something has to be done. This is Daddy's first visit. One look at those savages and he'll take the next plane back to Boston.
Maybe they'll prove somewhat of a shock to the old gentleman.
A shock. My father doesn't even know that people like that exist. He's spent his entire life among the aristocracy of Back Bay, Boston. Why, he hasn't even accepted Milburn yet. And we've been married 25 years.
Well, speaking of your husband, madam, perhaps he could persuade the Clampetts to take a trip.
That money-hungry bourgeois. He's afraid to let them out of his sight. I'll do it. I must do it for Daddy's sake. Tell Perkins to pick me up at the Clampetts. We'll go to the airport from there.
Yes, madam.
Whereabouts should we go, Uncle Jed?
Well, let's head for some tall timber. I hear there's a place out that way called Westwood.
sounds dandy. We ain't seen no real wood since we left the hill.
Let her roll, boy.
Hey, wait for us! Hey, yonder comes Miss Drysdale.
On the double, too.
Wait, wait!
Howdy, Miss Drydale. Want to come out in the country with us and do a little shooting?
No, Mr. Clampett. My father is arriving from Boston this morning.
Well, do tell.
Well, ain't that nice?
I don't believe we ever met you, Pa.
I know. You never met anyone like you either.
But don't they have millionaires in Boston?
Well, that wasn't what I meant, but never mind. I'm here to ask a very great favor.
We'll ask away.
Anything at all?
Just tell us what we can do.
Well, you see, Daddy is one of the leading citizens of Boston, and this will be his first visit out here. And I'm terribly anxious to make a good impression. And Well, I guess I'll just have to come right to the point. His plane will be arriving soon. Could I persuade you Clampetts to take a little trip?
Why, you bet you can.
Wonderful.
We'll go right out to the airport and fetch him.
What?
Ellie and me'll stay here, so you can go along.
Sure. You and your pa can ride up here on the bench.
Good thinking, girls. Dandy view from up there. She can show him the sights. You too, Duke. Come on down.
Oh, no, Mr. Clampett.
Well, all right, if you want to take him. Your pa partial to hound dogs, is he?
Never see a finer one than old Duke. Keep you warm up there, too.
Come on, Miss Drydale.
No, I wouldn't think of letting you drive me to the airport.
Why, shucks, it's our pleasure.
It'll show your pa what kind of neighbors you got.
My father doesn't even know there are neighbors like you. If you met him at the airport, he'd faint dead away.
No fooling. Little act of kindness like that.
Wonder why she changed her mind.
It seems her pa ain't used to friendly neighbors.
I know how he feels. That Boston must be a heap like Beverly Hills.
Yeah, but Miss Drysdale figured meeting us right off might be too much for him.
Poor old fella.
Milburn, Daddy is here. Rise.
Milburn, my boy?
Welcome to California, Mr. Farquhar. Your first visit, I believe.
Yes.
Daddy has never been west of Copley Square.
Well, and how was your trip?
Daddy had a dreadful experience. He had to change planes in Las Vegas.
I had no idea places like that existed.
Poor Daddy.
How long were you there?
6 days.
6 days?
Well, Margaret, I just couldn't take any plane, you know.
Yes, of course. It must have been terrible.
Oh, pretty rugged. Now, if you'll excuse us for a moment, dear, I have some business to discuss with your husband.
Did you hear that, Mildred? Daddy wants to discuss business with you. Listen carefully.
Well, Milburn, my boy?
You got tapped in Vegas, huh?
Murdered. That's an expression I heard up there. Of course, it would be a simple matter for me to telephone my bank in Boston. No, you didn't let me finish. I'm overdrawn there.
You, a Farquhar, overdrawn?
Yes. I have kept it from my daughter to spare her pride, but ever since her mother passed on, I have met with a series of financial reverses. Well, I suppose it's that I miss her so, you know. Well, now an old man needs something to turn to in his grief. Now, if we could arrange a little something to tide me over...
How much do you want to borrow?
Oh, I'm not asking to borrow money.
No?
No. I'll roll you high dice.
Forget it. Now, look, I'm glad to have you stay at the house. You'll have a nice room, plenty of food, but I will not finance your gambling. In fact, you should seek a cure.
Would you like to finance that?
No, I wouldn't. Any money you want, you'll have to wheedle from your daughter. I give her a very generous allowance.
You know, son, for 25 years, the Farquhars have looked down on you. We always felt Margaret married beneath her. And you know something? We were right.
Daddy, before we go home, I must prepare you for a shock.
He hasn't cut off your allowance.
No. It's about our next-door neighbors, the Clampetts. They're terrible people.
Well, how terrible?
Oh, they're simply unbelievable. Peasants. Little better than cave dwellers.
Well, why does Milburn tolerate them?
They have $50 million in his bank.
How much did you say?
50 million. Daddy?
Hmm? Oh, yes, dear, yes.
Steel yourself for the Clampetts.
I'm ready, dear. I'm ready.
Order Miss Drydale, Pa?
Not yet. Ellie's in the top of the elm tree, keeping watch.
What smells so good?
Them special victuals to take over when the old gentleman gets in from Boston.
Miss Drysdale just fetched her paw home.
Good. I'm baking him a possum.
What's he look like?
Oh, he's good size. Not that long.
I'm talking about Miss Drydale's Pa.
Well, he's kind of a little man, about pump handle high.
Let's take over victuals and get acquainted whilst we eat.
Now,
Besides, Jethro, he's kind of shy and skittish. We're going to have to friendly up to him a little at a time.
there's nothing friendlier than a baked possum grinning up at you from a platter of boiled okra. And I'm gonna garnish it with glazed turnips and hedge apples.
I bet you ain't never ate nothing like that back in Boston.
Don't be too sure of that. Being a leading citizen, he's probably used to the best.
You say those millionaires, those peasants, they live over that way, huh?
Yes. Mercifully, the hedge conceals them from view.
Money hasn't changed them at all, huh?
Not a bit. They don't know what to do with it.
You don't say.
Daddy, they're such a blight. If only someone could rid the neighborhood of them.
Well, I'll do what I can to clean them out.
Stay away from them, Daddy, please.
Beg pardon, madam. The upstairs maid wishes to speak to you.
Oh, excuse me, Daddy. Ravenswood, serve Mr. Farquhar.
Yes, madam.
Just plain, Ravenwood.
Yes, sir.
Oh, tell me, those Clampetts next door, I suppose they're a rowdy group, huh? Gamble a lot, play poker, shoot dice?
Oh, no, sir. They're simple people. Rustic types.
Oh, rustic, huh? Well, that'll help. Oh, say, this is superb. Now, you didn't learn to make tea like this out here.
No, sir. In the old country, sir. The home of superb tea.
Really? You don't talk like a Bostonian.
Howdy! You must be Miss Drysdale's pa. Uncle Jed said you was skittish.
Yes. Who are you?
I'm Jethro Bodine.
Oh, for a moment I thought you might be one of the Clampetts.
Well, I am. Uncle Jed's my uncle, Cousin Ellie's my cousin, and Granny's my grandma.
Genealogically speaking, that computes.
Huh?
There are 4 of you.
Just a minute. Yeah, that's right. What's your name?
Lowell Redlings Farquhar.
Oh, go on.
Well, that's really my name.
Well, would you mind if I just called you Shorty?
Well, all right, go ahead, Jethro.
Thank you. I hope I ain't friendlying up to you too fast, but Granny won't bust out the company victuals till we's all good acquainted.
As a matter of fact, I'm anxious to get all good acquainted with you Clampetts, too.
Hot dog! Let's go!
Here, wait! What are you doing?
Jed, my possum is coming on for done to a turn. How long we gonna have to wait for that Boston fella to get unskittish?
Well, if Miss Drydale don't fetch him over here to meet us pretty soon, we're going to have to figure out a way to commence breaking the ice.
I can do that. Got a little icebreaker right here.
Don't get too handy with that jug. You might be a temperance man.
Jethro's coming with Miss Drysdale's paw.
Hi, everybody. This here's my Uncle Jed, my Cousin Ellie, my Granny. Come on, Shorty, let's go wash up and eat.
Yes, sir. Put that man down.
I tried that, Uncle Jed, but he couldn't keep up with me.
Put him down.
Thank you.
I'm real sorry, Mr. Farquhar, but when Jethro has an empty stomach, he gets a head to match. Now, boy, you go in the parlor and lay a fire.
Ain't we gonna eat?
Do like I tell you.
Gee whiz, after I went and toted him over here and introduced him and everything.
Hey, May, you go on upstairs and put on a pretty party dress.
Yes, sir, pal.
Well. How do you like your possum, Mr. Farquhar? Falling off the bones tender, or with a little fight left in it?
I beg your pardon. Did you say possum?
Look at him, Jed. He can't believe his good luck.
Just cooking the same as always, Granny, and it'll be finger-licking good.
You boys enjoy yourself. I'll call you.
Thank you.
Well, what would you like to do, Mr. Farquhar?
Well, I don't know. We might chat a little, or... I don't suppose you play cards.
Well, I have held a couple of hands of whist. What do you have in mind?
Well, I came across a new game on the way out here. Something called poker.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Of course, I never played any.
It looked like a lot of fun. Shall we give it a try?
Well, I'm sorry, but I haven't got a deck of cards in the house.
Well, it just so happened that I have some here. Oh, good. See, I play solitaire a lot now that I'm a widower.
Widower now.
And you only seen this game played once, huh?
Yes, that's right.
You sure picked it up in a hurry.
Yes, didn't I? Now, each one of these matches is worth $100.
What dickens you say? I'm gonna have to speak to Jethro. He uses $1,000 worth just getting the fire going.
Is that right? Now, we'll start off by playing a little game called Seven-Toed Pete.
I thought we was gonna play poker.
It's the same thing.
You learn me as we go along, huh?
You can depend upon it.
That's mighty nice of you.
It's a pleasure.
Still playing cards, is he?
Yes, ma'am. My, but you look nice.
I thought I'd join him for a spell. Did you base the possum?
Well, no, ma'am.
Why not?
Well, it's gone.
Gone?
Everything's gone. The turnips, the okra, hedge apples, everything.
Where in the... Jethro! Catch him, Ellie. He's gonna get what for when the company leaves.
Kind of ashamed of myself. I ain't learning this game worth shucks.
Oh, no. You're doing fine. Fine. I'll tell you what. We'll double the stakes, and that way you'll have a chance to catch up.
Well, I wouldn't want you to break the rule just for me.
Oh, I'd be glad to do it.
Would you like me to deal once you've been doing it all?
No, I'm not tired.
How's it going?
Oh, fine.
You boys shouldn't play with matches.
We's ready for that possum any time, Granny.
It's gone, Jed.
Gone?
That stomach that walks like a boy. Got it.
This news is going to lay heavy on Mr. Farquhar.
Oh, yes. I'll be greatly disappointed.
I can open up a can or something.
That'll be fine.
Now, let's see. I can give you canned crawdads, crow gizzards, hawk eggs, gopher shanks.
Why don't you surprise us, Granny?
No surprise. I'm really not hungry, you know.
I know how you feel. When you got your heart set on baked possum, nothing else sounds good.
How true.
Can three play this game?
Oh, yes, indeed. Yeah. You sit down, and we'll open up another box of matches. Mr. Clarence, give Granny some matches here, will you? Oh, you'll enjoy this.
Would you look at that now?
Now, Mr. Farquhar, let Granny and me help. You've been working your fingers to the bone.
Oh, no. I don't mind, really.
No. Jed's right. After all, you're company.
What? They told me at the club to rush right home. What's the matter? What happened? Have we been robbed?
Oh, no. Daddy has disappeared.
For that, you called me off the golf course? Listen, Margaret, I had John Cushing 2 strokes down on the 9th hole. I was a cinch to win $20.
But I don't think you understand the gravity of this situation. One moment, Daddy was sitting here having tea, and the next moment he was gone.
Well, that's one relative who doesn't wear out his welcome.
Searched around and there's no trace of Mr. Farquhar.
Call the FBI.
Call the drugstore. He's probably out in front matching coins.
You lout. My father is a Farquhar. Do you think he'd stoop to gambling?
No, of course not, dear. I was only joking.
Granny, let me deal now, will you?
Oh, I don't mind.
By doggies, Granny, you're getting pretty near as good as Mr. Farquhar.
Thank you.
But you'll have to learn her that fancy way you deal off the bottom of the deck.
Excuse me, Granny. I shot Jethro pretty near to town, but he gave me the slip.
Well, never mind. Are you hungry yet, Mr. Farquhar?
No.
Well, you might as well clear the dishes off the fancy eating table.
Yes, sir.
Too bad we ain't had victuals in the billiard room in some time.
Oh? Oh, did you say billiard room?
Yeah, there's a billiard head hanging on the wall.
Head?
Would you like to see it? You're about out of matches anyway.
Yes, I'd like very much to see it, yeah.
So this being called a billiard room and that a billiard table, we figured this critter must be a billiard. Awful plain looking, ain't he?
I'd say that, yes.
That's the part they put up on the wall. I'd hate to think what the rest of them looks like.
He must be as heavy as he is homely. You can see this table is built extra stout. Hold up his carcass.
Trouble is, it's so big we have to use these pot passers to hand the riddles around.
Did you know that you could play a game on this table?
You don't say.
Yes, it's called pool. And you play it with these pot passers. I could show it to you if you like. We could play for matches. Would you like that?
Well, it sounds dandy.
All right.
Oh, howdy, Mr. Drysdale.
Hello, Ellie. My wife insisted that I come over. I don't suppose you've seen anything of a white-haired gentleman about.
About Pump Handle Hans? Well, sure, Mr. Farquhar's been here all day.
He has?
He showed Pa and Granny how to play something called poker.
Oh, no.
Howdy, Mr. Drydale. Ellie, honey, would you mind counting these matches? Mr. Farquhar says they're worth $100 apiece.
Where is that Back Bay burglar?
You mean your wife's Pa? He's in the billiard room, learning Jed to play a game called pool.
That little hustler. How many games have they played?
Oh, I'd say 15 or 20 by now.
Are you sure you've never played pool before?
Nope, but it reminds me for all the world of ricochet shooting.
What kind of shooting?
Ricochet. That's when you bounce your bullet off a rock before you hit the target. Jethro and me does it a lot.
Farquhar, you old pirate!
Just a minute, Mr. Drydale. I'm fixing to shoot. Now, what was it you wanted, Mr. Drydale?
I don't remember.
Rack 'em up, Mr. Farquhar.
Mr. Farquhar, Ellie Mae says that these poker matches come to $472,000. Give or take a few thousand.
You took these innocent people for that much?
No, that's what I owe them.
I don't know where you buy your matches in Boston, Mr. Farquhar, but you're getting overcharged something awful. Now, why don't you take these back with you? You can sell them at a nice profit.
You mean that I don't owe then? I'm not expected to pay?
Let's forget about the matches. We'll both enjoy the game better if we don't have to keep track.
Well, that is wonderful.
Grab yourself a pot passer, Mr. Drysdale. Rack 'em up, Mr. Farquhar.
Don't figure on playing more than an hour, Lowell. I just stuck another possum in the oven for you.
Well, now it's time to say goodbye to Jed and all his kin. They would like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back next week to this locality to have a heaping helping of their hospitality. Hillbilly, that is. Set a spell. Take your shoes off. Y'all come back now. Here?
This has been a Filmways presentation.